All right, today we're not just going to learn about programming, we're actually going to do it. We are going to have our very first conversation with the computer using a language called Python. So try to think of it less like writing code and more like, I don't know, learning to chat with a new friend who happens to be super logical and incredibly fast.
So, are you ready to jump in? Let's just forget all the complicated stuff you might have heard about coding. We're starting simple. Right now, the question is right there. Are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, first things first. We need a place to actually have this conversation. And that place is the command line. Now, it might look a little old school, but trust me, it's the most direct way to talk to your computer. It's like a direct hotline. Just follow these steps. Pop open your start menu, type in CMD, and hit enter. That'll bring up the command prompt. Now, once you're in that black window, you'll type Python and hit enter. And you'll see these three little arrows. That's the Python prompt. And you know what that means? It means Python is live, it's listening, and it's waiting for you to say something. We're going to call this live mode. So let's give it something really simple to do. We're just going to type 2 plus 2 and press enter. We're literally asking it, hey Python, what's 2 plus 2? And bam, just like that, it answers. It immediately spits back the number 4. See? This is what I mean by a conversation. We say something, it responds instantly. This immediate feedback is, well, it's awesome for just trying out little ideas really quickly. So what this tells us is that Python already understands basic math right out of the box. You can use a plus for addition, a minus for subtraction, the little star symbol for multiplication, and a / for division. In this mode, it's basically a super-powered calculator.
Okay, a calculator is cool and all, but the real power of programming, where it gets interesting, is when we can ask the computer to remember information for us. What if we want to store a number and then use it again later on?
Well, this is how we do it. It's super simple. We're telling Python, hey, take the number 10 and store it in a container, and let's just name that container A. And then we're saying, do the same thing with the number 20, but put it in a container called B. We're just giving names to our data so we can find it later. Now, these containers have a technical name, of course. They're called variables. And this is really important. That equals sign isn't what you remember from math class. In programming, it's not saying A equals B. It's an action. It's the assignment operator. Think of it as an arrow pointing from right to left. It means take the thing on the right and assign it to the variable on the left. It's a one-way street.
All right, time for a little puzzle. We've got 10 stored in our A container and 20 in our B container. So how do we swap them? How do we get A to hold 20 and B to hold 10? Think about it for a second. You can't just say A equals B, right? Because if you do, you'll just overwrite the 10 and lose it forever.
So here's the classic trick. It's like trying to swap the liquid in 2 full glasses. You need a third empty glass. First, we create a new temporary variable. Let's call it temp. And we pour the value of A into it for safekeeping. Now A is empty, so to speak. Second, we can pour the value from B into A. And for the final step, we take that value we saved in temp and pour it into B. And there you go, a perfect swap. That line-by-line conversation is fantastic for quick tests. But what if we want the computer to follow a whole list of instructions, like a complete recipe all at once? Well, for that, we need to write a program file. So we'll switch over to a simple text editor like Notepad and write out our entire recipe. And you'll notice these print commands. That's just our way of telling Python, hey, after you do all the swapping, I want you to display the final results on the screen so I can see what happened. It's how our program talks back to us.
Okay, I really can't stress this enough. We've written our instructions, we've got our recipe, but how we save this file is probably the single most critical step in this whole process. Everything hinges on getting this next part right.
When you save it, the file name itself can be whatever you want. We're calling it swap here. But the end of the name must, absolutely must, end with .py. That little extension is like a secret code to the computer that says, hey, this isn't just a text file. This is a Python program. You need to use the Python interpreter to read it. And this right here is the step where almost every single beginner gets stuck. Before you click that Save button, you have to change the Save As Type drop-down menu to All Files. If you forget this, Notepad is going to sneak a .txt onto the end of your file name, and your program just won't run. So please remember, always select All Files. Okay, now we go back to our command line. We're not in the live interpreter anymore with the 3 arrows. We're back where we started. And we just type Python, followed by a space, and then the name of our file, swap.py. This one command tells the computer, hey, execute every single instruction inside that file, from the top to the bottom, right now.
And voila! Look at that. The program runs, and because we put those print commands in there, it shows us the results. The variable a, which started as 10, is now 20, and b, which was 20, is now 10. Our recipe worked perfectly. The swap is complete.
So let's just recap the 2 ways we've now talked to Python. On one hand, you've got live mode, the interpreter. That's for talking one line at a time, getting instant results. It's awesome for just testing little ideas. On the other hand, we have blueprint mode, which is our .py file. That's for running a whole program, a full set of instructions all at once. It's for building real things. It's the same language, just 2 different ways of having a conversation.
And honestly, that's it. From a simple math problem to writing and running a full program, you've now had a complete conversation with your computer. You get the difference between a live command and a written script. You literally have the keys now. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?